I mean, the true warriors like yourself, you're gonna you just go to South Carolina or you go to Virginia. You just get out of there, right? Just like stem cells. I plan on going to Panama and getting different types of stem cells that are not legal in the states to do for whatever reason. But and I'm actually really excited about that too, stem cell research. So
So what were you looking at the stem cells for? Like for your joints or?
no, just overall like vitality. So it's literally like an IV and it's umbilical cord stem cells, which is not legal in the states.
Oh,
So I think
interesting.
they can do placenta stem cells,
Uh-huh.
and they're able to do different ones now. But the umbilical cord ones, as of now, tend to be like the most potent, and literally do it as like an IV. It's yeah. So Panama and I think Tijuana. There's a place in Tijuana that is ran by a doctor out of Texas.
Oh, interesting. It is kind of I was watching this video and they were saying that the hospitals sell the placenta and anyone listening fact check me all day. This is just something that I read, so I don't know or saw this. So I don't know if
This is
it's
not medical
true.
advice.
No, none of
Ultimately,
this
your
is
health is your
medical
cost.
advice. This is just two people talking. But that hospitals can sell the placenta and the cord for like upwards of $50,000, which I mean, I kind of believe. I banked mine because I'm like, I don't know where science is going to be in 5, 10, 20 years. So I
Right.
banked mine. Mine's in Arizona in a freezer right now from my children. But it is interesting that like right across the border, you can have something that isn't hurting anyone. Like it's already out of the body. There's no other use for it. And if it doesn't do any harm, I don't know. That kind of stuff always makes me wonder how much of this is for insurance purposes and kind of keeping people a little bit sicker than they need to be versus trying to create a different way of looking at health instead of like paying for when you get sick. It's like, how do I pay to stay healthy? Do you know what I mean?
Mm. No, I agree with you, but come on, Candace, that would be a bad business model.
Would it though? Because some of those longevity studios are outrageous with how much the annual fees are.
Yeah, the problem is like you can't tap into insurance, and the average Joe is not going to be able to afford that. It's kind of like it is now. If
Hmm.
you have a problem, if you really have a problem and you have money, you can go to Germany, you can go to Dubai, you can go to all these countries and get it fixed.
Hmm.
I remember hearing something similar in Dubai. If you have a tumor cell, there's hundreds of different types of chemo that you can do. Here, they only do one or two. In Dubai, they take your tumor and they take a piece out and they test it on hundreds of different chemos to see which one reacts and kills the tumor. Whichever one reacts to that tumor, that's the one that they use instead of guessing.
Mm.
So, and this is only for wealthy people, right? So it's going to be the same, it's going to be the same dichotomy as if you're rich and you're wealthy, you're going to be able to move around. And plus, if you're rich and you're wealthy, 9 times out of 10, you're pretty crafty. You're not going to just sit around. You're going to go after it and get shit done. But majority of people, not even just Americans, majority of people in America, they're not going to be able to do that, nor are they even capable of knowing the information. And they're just trying to pay their bills, and they got kids at home, and their wife's screaming at them, and then their husband's not doing this, and then their boss is a dickhead. Like they don't have time to do anything. A lot of these, and 99% of people that have 9 to 5 jobs. So again, it would be great, but it would be in the same boat, right? Because these people are not going to be able to afford that type of treatment anyway. So it's like, what do they do?
Well, I guess it comes back to just being proactive and taking care of your mind and your body before anything goes wrong. Because I mean, when it does, the system is not made to be easy or to help you. I mean, again, as someone who has chronic autoimmune issues, I get enraged with the insurance and hospital system. Like it is so obviously a money grab, and I actually just fired my endocrinologist because of how they were treating me with my appointments and my medication. I'm like, like absolutely do not care how my thyroid is. You don't care what my levels are. They were trying to have me come in without having an up-to-date panel. And I was like, what am I coming in for if you don't have my labs? I don't understand. Like if you don't have my labs, how are you going to help me or tell me if my medication needs adjustment? Like are you going to look at me and tell me if I've got like markers in my thyroid right now, like active markers? And I didn't know you were that skilled. I didn't know that we were X-Men. And they were
I
like,
was
"Well,
about to say that.
that's not why." And I was like, "You guys are fired. I'm finding someone else. This is
You're
absurd."
out. You're out of the circle. You're out. That's what I tell my friends. Anytime my friends say some dumb shit, I go, "You're out. You're out of the circle."
How do they work their way back in?
No, you're done. You're done for life. We have a
Mm.
short. We have a We hardcore rules over here.
Oh, there's no room for grace.
Nope, you're done.
I
No, no. Okay, so I just actually just had this conversation with my buddy because he's like calling me. He's a kickboxer, but he's like, hey, Justin, I need help with this girl or whatever. So, you know, so anyways, he's a mess. Like everything that girls don't want, he does. So I'm trying to tell him like what to do, and then he's not. He's a kickboxer, so let's just say he had to retire because of brain damage. So I'm trying to work with him. He's a good guy, but I was trying to tell him all these things, and he's like, oh well, because this girl he was with, and then they broke up or whatever, and then she's kind of like dogging him or whatever. But it's just because he's just not a high value male. And I told him that. I was like, listen, bro, I love you, but you're not a high value male. Like I wouldn't date you if I was a girl. Like, why would you expect any girl to date you? You don't bring anything to the table.
Mhm.
And he's like, well, people can change. And I said, yeah. He's like, I think it's messed up that people can't change their opinion. He's like, so this girl's going to think this way. And I said, number one, she's going to think of whatever way she thinks of you for at least a year. And the only way she changes her mind is if you don't talk to her and if you are undeniably a different person, like you completely do a life altering shift and it's a year later. So you need time, no communication, and then you need a completely different life. So she's like, oh my God, like, who are you? And then you're like, boom, you turned your life around, kind of like in Limitless. See, everything comes back to Limitless. He was a loser. He was a loser author, and then he took the pill and he starts learning Italian, and then he gets back with his girlfriend. She's like, "Wow, you were a loser. Now they're this amazing man." But I told him that. He's like, "Well, I think it's kind of messed up that people judge you, and then they don't understand that people can change." I said, "Bro, you realize that changing anything is hard." I
Mhm.
was like, have you ever had a bad habit? And he's like, yeah. And I said, okay, you've had a bad habit. Great. Have you consciously tried to fix that bad habit? Yeah. Did you relapse and mess up? And even when you're consciously trying to fix those bad habits, you still made them? Yeah. I was like, exactly. So my point is actually changing is hard as fuck. It is hard. You're not going to change. Most people at the age of 30 will be that way forever. You have to go over the top to try to change your natural behavior or however you were programmed up until the age of when your brain was developed.
Mhm.
So I was like, yeah, there's a reason why people judge you on your past behaviors because typically you don't change. So it's actually a good thing because that's a survival mechanism to know not to get with a loser. And I
Right.
told him that. And he's just like, he's like, well, can you hire me? I was like, I don't hire friends, bro. I don't give friends money and I don't hire them.